UFC Fight Night Tyra versus Royval is coming up this weekend, and today, guys, I have the complete betting guide for you with timestamps if you'd like to skip to any part of the video. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another video. If you were new here, my name is Kyle. I am your guy with many YouTube channels. Guys, we're going to talk about my confident picks for the card, underdog opportunities, fights that I do not believe you should be betting on, my personal lock of the week, and then we're going to end things off with the more fun part of the video, looking for props, making parlays, and we're going to go through the betting recap, which, happy to say, we clean sweeped it. I'm very, very happy about that. So, guys, with that being said, before we jump into the confident picks, it is important to note that I believe this card is extremely, extremely difficult for betting. So, I don't think that, personally, you should be betting a lot of money. And as always, don't bet with any money you're not willing to lose. But let's get into the confident picks for today. I'm feeling really good about Jonathan Pierce, personally. I think that he's just going to be a little bit better. And I know he's coming off of 2 losses, but even in then, he looked good in both of these fights. The Joe Anderson burrito was a weird one. He was controlling it until he got submitted, but you get the point. I'm still high on Jonathan Pierce. I'm feeling really good about him. I think he's just a little bit of a step ahead of Pat Sabatini, who is also good. It is important to note, too, guys, if you are brand new to the channel, I have a video, a full card breakdown, diving as deep into these fights as I can possibly get. This betting guide is a little bit more of a brief reason as to why I think each fighter is going to get the win. So, with that, let's continue on. CJ Vergara, man, I like watching him fight a lot, but unfortunately the next confident pick is going to be Ramonsbek Tamirov. Sometimes when these guys come into the UFC, they have that aura about them. He doesn't have any like world-beating aura or anything like that, but he does seem like he could absolutely be the real deal, and I just got a nice feeling over here that he's going to get the win over CJ Vergara, especially with a couple of CJ Vergara's recent losses and how they went. I am feeling good about Tamirov getting the win this time around. And the last confident pick that I have for you guys is going to be Themba Gorimbo. Nico Price is way past his prime, and Themba Gorimbo should be able to slow down the pace, keep it at bay, and just pick Nico Price apart the entire time. And that's kind of how I see that fight going. The potential for him getting overwhelmed is there, but we're talking about a 35-year-old Nico Price who hasn't really looked good against any good contenders, and the losses aren't exactly aging too well either. So I am feeling good about Themba Gorimbo, but there is, guys, one underdog opportunity in the card that I believe has a possible chance of winning. I'm just talking about, like, this isn't necessarily a pick of mine. It's just, if you're looking for underdog money, this might be an okay place to look. So Chris Barnett is going to be that fighter. Last I checked, oh, there you go. He's a plus 300 underdog. Last I checked, it was 2-something. So I don't understand why he's being counted out so much. Yeah, he had a long layoff. I don't know why the layoff was, but Junior Tafa is not a minus 380 fighter in any situation, in my opinion. Justin Tafa, maybe, but he just keeps having bad performance after bad performance, refusing to check calf kicks, having 0 ground game, not improving in general. I don't know why he's such a big favorite. Doesn't make sense to me. Now, as I've said earlier, guys, there are a lot of fights on this card that I believe you should not necessarily be betting on, but 3 of them stand out to me as to completely stay away from. The first one being Clayton Carpenter versus Lucas Rocha. I just think that this is a very, very close fight against 2 really, really good prospects. That's pretty well it for that fight. I don't have anything to break down about that fight. And this next one, guys, I believe out of every fight on the card, this fight is the one you should stay away from the most. Brad Tavares versus Jun Park. I think this is about as 50-50 as it gets. You have somebody in Jun Park who has all the heart in the world, wants to get you to the ground. You have Brad Tavares, who has been in there with the best of the best and has some of the best takedown defense in the entire division. I have no clue how that fight's going to play out. For that reason, I think you're crazy if you are betting on it. The last fight that I don't believe you should be betting on is Brandon Royval versus Tatsuro Taira. Maybe some round lines for this one, but I think you have Brandon Royval, who is an absolute dog and an animal in the division with all the experience, taking on somebody who seems to be the real deal and could make his way to a title very, very soon. Both of these contenders are fantastic at what they do. I don't know who's going to be implementing their game plan. Is Royval going to be able to defend the takedowns? Is Taira ready for a guy like Brandon Royval? Too many questions for me. It's a very close fight against 2 really, really, really good fighters. I do not believe you should be betting on this fight. Now, guys, with that being said, let's move on to my personal lock of the week, which is the fight on the card that I believe has the best chance of winning as close to 100% as you could possibly get. That fighter is Grant Dawson. Rafa Garcia is good at himself, but I think matchup-wise, this is just Grant Dawson's fight to win. I think he's going to be better in the transitions. I think he's going to be better with the takedowns, and he's going to control the whole time. I do like Grant Dawson. I was really worried about him taking punches after the Bobby Green fight. He did all right against Joe Slucky, although, I mean, like, it wasn't necessarily too tested. Rafa Garcia is heavy-handed. I just feel that Grant Dawson has a really, really good chance of winning this fight, and unfortunately, he So according to Tapology, is a minus 400 favorite, so I don't know what you want to make of that. But regardless, guys, before we get into the more fun part of the video, I do want to stop you for a second. Now, I talk a lot about betting on this channel. You guys know, obviously, I make a lot of betting videos. If you're interested in either supporting the channel or seeing where I put my money where my mouth is, every single Thursday or Friday for members, I post a community post, again, on Thursday or Friday, and a members-only video talking about exactly what I'm doing with my own money. So again, if you either want to support the channel or combine my fight knowledge with your own research, never just come to blindly tail, then you can check out the channel membership in the pinned comment description down below or right next to the subscribe button. Very cheap compared to other channels. And this tool that we like using on the channel, OddsJam, which is what we're going to move on to. If you guys want to sign up to it, it's fantastic. If you have multiple sports books, OddsJam, you can get a discount with the link and description in the pinned comment down below using code Clenbat. Thank you for listening, guys. Let's move on to the more fun part of the video, that being looking for some props. I don't know how this one's necessarily going to go, and I might stick to some round prop parlays because this is a really, really tough card to bet on, in my opinion. So you have the Jared Gooden, and Jared Gooden cheating Ninja Kiwani actually isn't bad for over 1.5. I don't mind that personally. Nothing really stands out to me, though. Nico Price, Themba Greenbow, minus 195 for over 1.5. I actually don't mind that for a parlay piece. That one's not bad. Over 2.5 for Jun Young Park, Brad Tavares. Alex Morono, Daniel Rodriguez, that's not bad. That's probably going to be a really slow-paced fight. That one's actually something considered doing. And I would like 1.5 for this one, but Now, unfortunately, over 2.5 for Cormac McKenna and Julie Pilastri is minus 400. We don't love to see that. Same with Rafa Garcia, Grant Dawson. Tyra versus Royval. I could see this one going. I'm interested to see if they have like any over 4.5 rounds as of right now. Josh Fremd, Abdul Razak, Al Hassan. Yeah, unfortunately, that one's not worth hitting for the round lines. Pat Sabatini, Jonathan Pierce. I can see that one going a little bit, but even then, over 2.5, I don't like doing over 2.5s. Junior Tava, Gris Parnett. My face cam's blocking it. I'm sorry if you guys can't see it, but the over 1.5 on that, the average odds is plus 158. I mean, I wouldn't do that myself, but that's some good plus money. Lucas Rocha, Clayton Carpenter, over 2.5 is minus 150. There's some potential there. I would really, really have to think about how that's going to go. But with that, let's continue on to the fun parlay, guys. As you might know, I moved over to Bet365, and it's so much nicer than Betway, but I do love Betway's interface, so I'm going to continue using Betway's interface. Let's just take a look and pick some fights, see how it goes. Again, guys, this is really just a more fun part of the video, okay? We're going to pick... Oh, this is so tough. This is so tough. I'm going to pick Tyra. I'm going to pick Jun Young Park, Grant Dawson, Daniel Rodriguez, Al Hassan, Gidina. I don't know. There's so many fights on this card that I'm like, dude, ridiculous. And Lucas Rocha. Yeah, that's definitely not going to hit. Something my sister and I do every weekend. If you guys are new to the channels, we put 10 cents on every underdog on the card. We were almost millionaires one time watching Bellator. Almost every underdog won on the cards. Let's see what we get for 0.10 over. That's usually a lot more than what we get. But regardless, is every fight even on here on Betway right now? Man, Betway's so slow with all of their stuff. It's ridiculous. But to honestly like put some stuff like Grant Dawson and Jonathan Pierce together gets you double your money. But even then, the odds that Jonathan Pierce are at is just something that I would hit just by itself, to be honest with you. If you want to do like Themba Greenbow maybe and a Grant Dawson, that I don't hate. But even then, like, what about Tamirov? What about a few confident picks? Like, you will pick Themba Greenbow, you have Tamirov, Grant Dawson. Them together, I still don't like that. Like, this is a really, really, really tough card. What do all the favorites get you? Just putting them all together. It's too bad we can't do any round lines, man. Too bad we can't put any round lines ever right now. I don't think that's going to happen. I think this card's going to have a ton of upsets. But, guys, before we continue on, I want to take a look at the channel bets, and I was sweating because, of course, if you guys would know, UFC Paris absolutely destroyed me. Thankfully, we had a nice little clean sweep coming on over here. I'm going to bring you to that in just a second, and I'll put it, bang, there we go. We see the UFC 307 One Fight Night 25 official plays, and of course, we can see the fun parlay, which did pretty well, to be honest with you, but of course, I never really expect the fun parlay to hit. It's just things that I think will happen, but a parlay this big will always bust, right? Joaquin Buckley to win, Tisha Pennington to win, and then Aldo Pennington to go over 1.5 rounds. I thought all of that was going to hit, and all of it did hit. I know that people think that Tisha Pennington was a little bit of a robbery. I disagree. I thought Tisha Pennington won the fight, and I actually thought that she would win more dominantly than they did. Guys, let me know what you thought about the entire card down below. Thank you so much for being here and watching the video. If you want to check out the full card breakdown, you can check that out right here. I will see you guys over there or in the next video. Take care, everybody.